For central angle, so you see how we have this angle at the vertex? This is at the center. So this is a central angle. So because this is a central angle, whatever is here can also be written here. So this 85, you can also bring on the inside. And it's asking us to find the measure of angle FDG. So that would be 360 minus 150 minus 85. Go ahead, type that in your calculators. What is 360 minus 150 minus 85? You got 125? You got 125? Anybody else get 125? All right, this is my first class of the day, first integrated class, so I don't know the answer, so I depend on y'all. All right, any questions? Now let's go to your note page. We're going to learn a new formula. If you were absent Friday, I wasn't here Friday because I had a little emergency type thing. But there is a skills check. It's still open. You can still do it. If you did not do it Friday, make sure you do it before it closes on Wednesday, and that's 50 points. Raise your hand if you already did the skills check from Friday. All right, good. And I believe you get unlimited attempts, so you can keep doing it until you get the best score. All right, so let's go ahead and go to page 9. And what I like to do first is fill in the missing pieces of our angle. So if we can do that, the rest goes easily. All right, so first of all, these two angles, these are what we call vertical angles. Who remembers that? Vertical angles from integrated 1. Can we take out our earbuds, please? So that means that you can put a 40 right here. Go ahead and put a 40 right here. So to me, it reminds me of a bow tie. If you see these bow tie angles where they kind of look like they're opposite of each other, they're vertical, which means that they're congruent. All right, so now pick up your calculators. I know that these 3 angles added together, these 3 angles equal 180. So pick up your calculator, take 180 minus 40 minus 65. So take 180, because this is a diameter. Whenever you see a diameter, that means it's half of 180. So if you pick up your calculator and you take 180 minus 40 minus 65, what do you get left? What's left over for this one? Okay, let's write that in there. Because these angles have to add up to 180. And then this side has to add up to 180. So that means that for the pink side, you're going to take 180 minus 40. What's 180 minus 40? 140. Put that in there. All right, so now we got the whole circle. I'm going to go ahead and write over this because it's kind of light. So now that we have all the pieces of all the measures of our pizza, we can go ahead and answer. We don't have to do, we're only going to do a few of these. So let's go ahead and do DE. So from D to E, what would be the measure of, all of these are central angles. So even though we found all of the angles inside, because this is a central angle, the same angle applies to the outside. So from D to E is 40. So that means the measure of arc DE would be 40. Is that a minor, a major, or a semi? Minor, because it's less than 180. All right, now let's go from A to E. If you go from A to E, what's the measure of arc AE? 140. Let's go ahead and write that. Is that a major, a minor, or a semi? Minor. All right, and then we go A, B, C. A to B to C. Well, to go from A to B to C, we have to add two angles together. We have to add AB plus BC, which is 40 plus 75, which is 115, which is a minor. All right, I want you to try to find BC. BC. That would just be this part right here. What is the measure of arc BC? What did you all get? 75, good. Which is a minor. All right, I'm going to give you 5 minutes to find the last four, and then we're going to learn a new formula. All right, what did you get for BCD? BCD. What did you get for BCD? What did you get, Stephen? 140. Anybody else get 140? Raise your hand if you got 140. All right, BCD. B to C to D would be 75 plus 65, which is 140, which is a minor. All right, what did you get for ADE? ADE? That means we would have to go around Oh, I'm going the other way. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm tripping. ADE. So that would be this part. So there's a lot you have to add. You got to add 40 plus 75 plus 65 plus 40. I don't know what y'all get. 40 plus 75 plus 65 plus 40. 220. Anybody else get 220? Is that a major, a minor, or a semi? Major, yeah, because it's more than 180. All right, so now let's look at the next one. AED. So A to E to D, well, that's just half of the circle. So that would be 180, which is a semi. And then last one, from A to D to C. A to D to C, that would be 140 plus 40 plus 65. 180 plus 65. Is that 245? Okay, 245, which is a what? A major. All right, so let's go ahead and learn our new formula for today, which is why you need a calculator. It's called arc length. So the formula for arc length, did I write this in your packet? Let me see. Go ahead and write this formula out. It's written right here, but it's kind of small. So I guess you don't really have to rewrite it. But this is this formula. It's the same thing. So to find arc length, you need to know two things. You need to know the angle measure, and you need to know the radius. And then you're just typing it in your calculator. So they want us to find the length of AB. That would be this piece. That's what they want us to know, this little piece. So the first thing we have to figure out is what is the radius. So what did they tell us right here? Is this 14 a diameter or a radius? Diameter, because it goes all the way across. So to find the radius, you would have to take this number and divide it by 2. What's 14 divided by 2? 7. So your radius is 7, and the measurement of your angle, which is x, what's the measure of this angle inside of this arc? I'm trying to figure out the length of this arc. 80. So we're just going to use our calculators. So L equals 80 over 360 times 2 pi 7. That's what you're going to type in your calculator, just like that. So you want to hit the fraction key first. 80 over 360. And then times 2, hit the pi key, 7. And then you want to hit that button above it, above enter, to get it as a decimal. We're going to round it to the hundredths place, which means I need 2 numbers after the decimal. So L equals 9.77 meters. So I'll give you a minute to type that in your calculator and see if you got that. All right, who got 9.77 in their calculators? All right, good. Let's go. I'm going to skip that next one. Let's go to this one on page 10. We're going to do the same thing. So I know X, and this one is in, well, you know. So we're trying to find the measurement of arc, the length of arc AB. So that would be from here to here. So in order to do that, I need to know what's the measurement of the central angle. What's the measurement of my central angle? 150. And then the radius. What's the radius? It's 7. All right, let's go ahead and type it in our calculators. L equals 150 over 360 times 2 pi 7. All right, so I got L equals 18.32 or 18.33. Who got that? All right, try to do the next one by yourself. So we got our angle, which is 25 degrees, and they told us the radius is 10. Go ahead and type that in. So arc length is a piece of the circumference. It's not the whole circle. So in other words, it's a piece of the crust. Think of arc length as the crust. So it's like, how long is a piece of crust? All right, if you typed it in your calculator right, you should have 4.36 feet. Who had that? All right, last question for today. Now this one looks like the way it's going to be asked on the test. The first thing they want us to do is find the circumference. So to find the circumference is 2 pi r. What is the radius of the circle? 12. So when you're trying to find the when you're trying to find the circumference, you don't use this 135. All right, we don't need that. We only need to use our radius. So in your calculator, you're going to type in 2 times pi times 12. And it says round your answer to the tenths place. So you think about $10. $10 has 1 0. So that means I need one number after the decimal. So you should have 75.4. And they didn't give us a unit, or did they give us a unit? Nope, they did not tell us a unit. So we'll just leave it as 75.4. But for arc length, we have to use our angle. And essentially what you're doing is you're taking this fraction. So you're going to take 135 over 360, and you're really multiplying it by this number. So you're taking 135 over 360, and you're multiplying it by 2 pi 12. Go ahead, type that in your calculator. And that should give you 28.3. Who had 28.3? All right, so you should be able to finish all of homework 1. Homework 1 is due tomorrow, and now you should be able to finish it. So go ahead and take out homework 1 and start finishing it out. If you have it finished and you want to show it to me for your points, go ahead and bring it up, and I'll stamp your pink sheet.